Hey, what's going on out there? IE Network land, and you know what time it is? No, it's not time for real talk. That was last night. It is now time for the Benchwarmers podcast, sports and stuff, exclusively here on the IE Network. Of course, on the YouTube page right here. Yes, and we have a jam-packed show for you. You know, we always come on here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a very big show tonight with me, of course, as your host, James Azevedo. That's my name, of course. And my co-host, Heaven Hollywood, who will be coming on in a minute or so. And so we can get this podcast started. Shout out to not only Heaven Hollywood, but, of course, our producer extraordinaire, Wes Clark, for making this magic happen here on the IE Network right now as we speak, as we're live right around the world. All around the globe as I'm talking right now. See, it looks funny when I do it like this. All around the globe. Anyway, yeah. So we have a jam-packed show. Of course, we'll be on here for about an hour and a half usually. Before I get started, well, actually, let me get started right now while I wait for my co-host Heaven Hollywood. For those of you who didn't know, there's been breaking news that happened earlier this morning at around a little after 7 a.m. LA time, the West Coast. There was a single car accident that was involved with Tiger Woods. He was on his way to a golf event. He wasn't participating as far as being in the tournament or anything like that. He was just going to be a host of this golfing event, and he was on his way over there and I think in what is it at the Ranchos Palos Verdes. You would think I would know these Spanish words being Puerto Rican, huh? Boy, that's a shame. I'm a New York Rican, sorry. In California, Ranchos Palos Verdes in LA, California, and he had a single car accident. Anybody doesn't know about that area, from the sources that I got from certain people I know, it's a very dangerous, curvy roadway. You know, it's not like a roadway where you go straight ahead somewhere and there's left, right. It's not that like that. There's a lot of twists and turns in these around these roadways over there. And a lot of people are making speculations. I'm not one of them. I've always been that type of guy since I've been doing these shows now. Oh man, I've been doing hosting or co-hosting shows now for about, hard to believe, 11 years. And I've never, when events like this happen, I don't give like my thoughts or opinions on it until I know all the facts. And as far as the facts that I do know, all I know is he had a car accident. He ran off the road. He fell off the side of the hill and stuff like that. I mean, they didn't have to use the jaws of life, from what I heard from the fire department, but they used certain type of tools to get him out of there. He had compound fractures in his legs. And not too long ago, he had recent surgery again on his back on top of that. So on top of that and his severe leg injuries, he's doing well, as I know right now. He went from, let's see, as I see on here on the internet, I know he's critical now, but he's stable as far as I know. And a lot of people gonna make speculations. Oh, he's been having drinking problems, since, for a while. Remember that time he got pulled over by the cops? You remember that video that I'm not making any speculations like that, because first off, to be fair, he was going to a golfing event. It wasn't like he would just so happen to, in the middle of the night, driving somewhere like it was that other time when he got caught on that police cam. So until we know the details, and from what I've heard from certain sources, the doctors say that he was not incoherent or anything like that. It didn't seem like he was drunk or under the influence of any drugs or alcohol or anything like that. So before people start jumping the gun to, Tiger Woods, I know he probably was drunk or something. Hey, let's hold that, because we don't know none of that. I'm going by from what I've gotten in the last few hours before I came on the air, and basically, who knows? I mean, I do know for one thing that he was definitely going at a high rate of speed, and then those roadways I was just telling you with the twists and turns and all that. Yeah, that's not a smart thing to do. Absolutely not. That's definitely not a smart thing to do, because you don't want to You don't want none of that. When you go on those type of roadways at a high excessive rate of speed, which I don't know how fast he was going, because like I said, there's investigations going on and all that other stuff. So we don't know. All I do know is that he's okay. Thankfully, he didn't die, and he's had some unfortunately bad things happen to him ever since 2009 when that scandal happened with him and his former wife. That Thanksgiving week back in 2009, and it seems like ever since then, his professional world has fallen apart. So it's a shame because you hate to see anybody. I don't care if they're famous or not, go through anything like that, because we gotta remember this is a human being, regardless that he's in the public eye or not. This is still a human being, and even though he got himself into certain situations in the past, doesn't mean that he deserved what he got today. You know what I mean? Because that's not fair, and that's not the case. So as far as, like I said, as far as I know, he's stable. He's doing fine. We'll get more about this as the days go on, and then we'll talk about it more once we get more info on it. Unless when Heaven comes on here, he found out something that I didn't, or if Wes knows any more information. If he's on here right now producing, he can chime in real quick. And if there's anything I left out in this story, but with Tiger Woods, but it's just very fortunate, because if anybody hasn't seen the pictures of his car accident, take a look, because it's not like a regular fender bender or something like that. I looked at those pictures, I was like, oh, I've seen worse, but it wasn't that good. It fell off the side of the road, down the median, down the hill, stuff like that. So it's just, fortunately he's alive. That's the main thing. And who knows how they didn't hear no reports of his back getting re-injured because of the accident. I would think it would after some severe accident like that. So like I said, until we get some more information, we have to see and wait when it comes to Tiger Woods. But I'm not going to be one of those people like, oh, he was probably under the influence of alcohol. Remember what he did in the past. I'm not doing that, because I take this seriously when I host a show, and I take my when I'm hosting a show and I have the power of the mic in front of me. It's as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. So that's how I take it. I don't just want to blab or something and it's not true or something like that, because I'm very responsible when it comes to that. So until we get more information, all I have to say is hopefully he fully recovers. Who knows if he's ever gonna people are speculating, is he ever gonna participate in a golfing event again, as far as him being being a player in the PGA. The thing that about that sport is that you can still play until you're old. Look at Jack Nicklaus and legends like that in the past, of players that play into their 60s, whatever. So I don't think this would stop. The only way something like this that happened this morning would stop his career professionally is if he can't walk like he once did, or he can't stand straight, or use his legs and his back like he used to when he played golf. So unless he's totally immobile, then I don't see, because knowing how his ego is, and the way he is so driven, I don't see this stopping him. Hopefully he makes a full recovery and he does come back. But seriously, he should really, hopefully he, really looks into his life. And, like I said, I'm not saying he did anything wrong here, but, hopefully whatever happened, he gets taken care of, and hopefully, more importantly, he fully recovers physically, and then hopefully everything else falls into place. So that's with that. I'll wait for, Heaven could tell his thoughts once he comes in, and he can talk about what he needs to talk about when it comes to his thoughts on Tiger Woods. Still waiting on Heaven. I don't know if Heaven forgot that he had a show. I don't know what happened, but I'm here solo right now. So let's see here. Oh yeah, by the way, while I'm waiting for Heaven, Fernando Tatis Jr. Anyone doesn't know, I'll go on to the next topic until heaven comes down. Fernando Tatis signed an extension. Anybody doesn't know Fernando Tatis Jr., he's like one of these big-time young players in Major League Baseball who made a name for himself, especially last year when he really started blowing up with the San Diego Padres. He's been around since, I think last year was his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, because I could have sworn I heard of him the year prior, or maybe I just heard from him because he was in the minor leagues, you know, in the San Diego Padres minor leagues organization at the time. But he signed a 14-year, $340 million extension. That's not too shabby, huh? And then the dude's only like 22 years old. Right away, he's getting a 14-year, $340 million extension. The news came out of this for this particular situation came out, I think it was last Thursday. And he had a press conference just this past, matter of fact, it was yesterday in San Diego. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he was basically saying that he want to have his legacy be in San Diego. Well, I would think so. If I got paid 14 years, you know, $340 million for 14 years, I think I would want that place to be my legacy too. I have a breakdown of his contract. By the way, it's only the third highest contract in all of Major League Baseball, believe it or not. For anybody who doesn't know baseball, you would think, wow, that has to be the richest contract ever. No, it's not. It's only the third richest contract. He's behind two other players right now, actively, of course. Number 2 is Mookie Betts. Number 1 is Mike Trout. So that tells you something right there. Okay, here we go with the breakdown of Fernando Tatis' contract. This year he will make, listen to this and this later. He will make, wow, okay, this is a great breakdown here. He will make 1 million, well, I don't know if this is right or not, as far as the Padres announced to make a contract with Fernando Tatis Jr., he will make 1 million in this year, 5 million 2022, 7 million in 2023. I guess it makes sense because then it goes higher, obviously, as because it is a 14-year contract. 11 million in 2024, and then 20 million a piece in 2025 and 2026, and then another 25 million in 2027, and I think in 2028. I think so. As I click this link. Yeah. I mean that's some sort of raise, huh? And all that's guaranteed, by the way. It's not like if he doesn't play well that the contract is void or something. No, that's guaranteed. Even if he doesn't take another at bat again, that goes to show you baseball for you. I'm telling you, I wish I had the talent. Okay, here we go. So yeah, 25 million. It'll raise up to 25 million in 2027 and 2028, and then 36 million yearly from 2029 through 2034. Jeez, that's getting paid, isn't it? That's redunculous. That is crazy. I mean, that's just that's some contract. Start out from 1 million this year, all the way through 2034. Then he'll make basically 36 million a year from 29 to 34, and not even including the other raises he got in between from those other years. So, I mean, this is something. Oh, by the way, he has a no trade clause on top of this 14-year deal. So there's a no trade clause, which means that if the team ever tries to even think of trading him, they can't, because they have a clause. He has a clause in his contract that he can't be traded nowhere. And and by the way, poor guy, he has a $10 million signing bonus on top of that. Jeez. You gotta be kidding me. That is crazy. I mean, that is crazy. So basically, by the time he finishes his contract, he'll be like 36 years old. He probably retired then. Who knows? Or maybe not, because with the DH, by then, you would think, the DH should be universal in both leagues by the time, maybe this year or even definitely by next year, or the next collective bargaining agreement at the end of next season, or at the end of this season, actually. That will be one of the bargaining chips, getting a universal DH. And definitely the owners will want that. Well, the players you would think will want that too, because then that's 15 extra jobs, which would make 30 extra openings for older players who can't play the field no more. So yeah, that's just an amazing amazing contract for somebody who played 1 year. This is his stats, by the way. Anybody doesn't know. Fernando Tatis Jr. stats in 2020. And I'm not saying, hey, God bless him. He got the contract, but it's not like, I don't know. He's a phenom that just yet. I'm not one of these people that jump the gun like a lot of people. Okay, so last year, and I remember it was a 60-game season last year. Last year he played. See how many games he played here. Uh, okay, he had 224 at bats. He batted 277, 17 home runs, 45 RBIs, 11 stolen bases. He had a on base percentage of 366, which is pretty good. Slugging percentage 571, OPS 937, and OPS plus 155. And his WAR for those analytics people, he was a 2.8 in WAR. His career is 7.0, which means anybody doesn't know what the acronym WAR means. It means wins against replacement, which means how many wins does he put into the team when he's on the field, basically. I don't know how they figure that out, but you got these so-called geniuses, these mathematicians that think they know the answers to all baseball and all sports, especially baseball. But all these stupid analytic crap, I don't know. But yeah. So hey, yeah, I know his father, Fernando Tatis Jr. I know he's happy. He's like, can you give me $20? I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, he was still good. He was still good as far as putting in, because you have to put in at least 5 years of major league service before you become a free agent, and he still had okay, yeah, he still had like 3 more years of service. So I guess San Diego didn't want to take a chance and uh, maybe not getting a chance to sign him now, because if they don't sign him now, the price only goes up, not down. So I guess that's why he was a rookie. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was a rookie in 2019. He was a rookie in 2019. His first, I think, he came up probably during the September call up, and then his first full year was last year or something like that. Yeah, so he wasn't going to be a free agent to 2025, but the Padres didn't want to play no games. I mean, he still had 3 or 4 years left of service to put in before he became a free agent, and I guess they knew that the closer it got to 2025, the more reality of it that was that they weren't going to be able to keep him, because with these small market teams, they only could um, afford so much. But see, this is what I don't get, is that if they're so need of cash, right, and they're a small market team, how are they able to pay this contract, period? I mean, they're looking at the future, getting this money, when all the COVID situation dies down. I mean, slowly but surely we're getting people back in arenas, especially up in New York. I know they're doing that right now. Matter of fact, it just started tonight. People are going to the Knicks and Nets games tonight. It's rare when both teams are in town at the same time. In the Barclays Center in Madison Square Garden, they're allowing 2,000 people at each venue to watch the game, which is cool. I mean, to have live crowds in an actual sporting event is awesome. I forgot how many people were in the Super Bowl. It was like I think only like a few thousand. I don't remember how many it was. I know it was a lot of cardboard cutouts. That's all I know. But slowly but surely, hopefully, we get everybody back in the stands. There ain't nothing like having the fans back in these sporting events, because it's just not the same without the fans there. With the chants and the cheers and the boos and all that other stuff. So yeah, I can't wait till everybody gets back. Hopefully, by the time summertime comes, maybe we'll have close to full capacity. These sporting venues. Hopefully, with baseball, it probably won't be until like maybe till after there's no stoppage. They should be. It probably won't be till the second half of the season after the All-Star game. So that meaning July probably. So we'll see about that. Still no word of heaven. I don't know what's going on with heaven. I don't know where he is. What is going on? Let me see something here. Hold on. Finally I'm back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had little technical difficulties. It's just one of those nights, I guess, where everything that would go wrong can go wrong. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about Fernando Tatis Jr. And just an unbelievable contract. I remember Wes brought this to my attention the other day, and I was like, well, that's baseball for you. Baseball wants to cry poor, and then especially when it comes to these small market teams. And meanwhile, they're giving out all this money, just hoping and beyond hope that I guess they want to keep their guys. Which, by the way, that does help the sport. You don't want these great talent to go to the big market teams all the time, to New York or Boston or Philadelphia, places like that. You want it to be spread out throughout the teams all across the country, and including Canada when it comes to Toronto. Look at what's his name that went to the Blue Jays, the outfielder. I mean, he signed a big deal with the Blue Jays just a few weeks ago. So, you want to have a even playing field. You don't want like one team to have more talent than the other. You like to have a even playing field. At least with the NFL, it's kind of like that. Basketball is definitely not like that. I could predict every year for the last God knows how many years who's gonna win and who's gonna lose. But unfortunately, with the ad of the great Evan Hollywood, it's my co-host extraordinaire, Evan Hollywood.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
Little under the weather today.
Yeah, you sound wonderful. Sorry, you're under the weather, man.
Yes, sir. It's one of those things. Really, actually, my first cold in probably man, close to a year, probably. So you
Hmm.
knew one was coming at some point.
Yeah, as long as it's not you know what.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say it. I ain't saying that. I
yeah.
ain't
I don't
saying
think
it.
it's that. I don't have the symptoms for that, but it's just more like it seems more like my allergies and
Yeah, well, you have had allergy issues. I get those once in a while too. I'm like you though. I don't get sick like that. I got a strong immune system too.
right. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm very real. But yeah, when I was a young buck, I used to get sick a lot.
right.
That's the funny
Yeah.
thing. Until my adolescent, until I hit puberty, then forget it. Then now I have a titanium belly, and you know, like I
Now,
nothing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Now
But,
it's like I was really bad with asthma young.
oh wow, you too. I didn't
But
know that you had it
yeah,
too.
I
Oh
was.
wow.
I don't think I was ever as bad as my brother, but us, all three of us,
Oh man.
growing up, we all had asthma when we were young.
Mm,
But I kind of, I kind of end up kicking it because of I played sports a lot, and
cool.
I was able to. But I'm telling you, up to like age 12, 13, like I really had it bad. I would
Wow.
get attacked. But I still don't think I was ever as bad as my sister and my
West.
brother. I mean, my brother's the worst. Like he's like still
Mm,
deals with that, issue.
mm.
But thank God I've never had to really I really deal with like I'm wheezing now, but
Yeah. Well,
since then, not a big deal.
don't be dying
But
on me, man. I'll kill you.
you know, I don't, you die, don't die anyway.
Don't be
Die,
dying
I'll
on me,
kill
man.
you.
Better
You
not.
die, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Don't die on me. I'll kill you. You do. I'll kill you. but
I'll
but
kill
by the way, I want to hear your thoughts. I already said my thoughts about Tiger Woods situation. If you don't, I was
you.
saying
Right,
earlier to top the show, I was just saying to everybody because you know me for a while now. Sure, you've been knowing me now for like 6, 7 years actually.
right,
Um, and I was saying I take great responsibility when it comes to the microphone. When I'm doing shows. With great power comes great responsibility. When you have news that comes out like this, when a certain accident, especially with somebody who has a certain past, you don't want to jump to conclusions saying, "Oh, he must have been drunk when he was driving and did it." I said it at the get-go. I don't want to say that. Evidence doesn't look that way to me, in my opinion, because he was on his way to a golfing event, and it was early in the morning. It was seven. It's like it was after 7 in the morning LA time, so it wasn't like the other time years ago when it was 2 in the morning, whenever he was swerving around in the middle of the night on a highway or something. You know what I'm saying, on a side of a road. So thankfully he survived. That first of all, that's the main thing. He's a human being. He's alive. Thank God. He's alive. He had compound fractures in both his legs, and he just recently went through another back surgery, which I didn't know again. So that on top of that, who knows, when he's going to be mobile. He won't be mobile for a while.
Yeah.
I just want to get your thoughts on this situation. I already said mine. I just want to be careful before we get all the facts. I don't want to speculate anything. You know what I mean? I'm just glad he's alive.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, shout out to Tiger. Prayers up to him.
Absolutely.
Like you said, thank God he's alive. That's the first and foremost, because, man, there's only but so many times you can play Russian roulette with death.
Exactly.
Now, the first time, and Tiger seems to keep getting in accidents with himself.
Yeah, he's his own worst enemy.
The first time it was nobody.
Yeah,
crashed into a tree.
it's true.
And then there's another one. It's nobody. It's himself. So, Tiger has to realize what is it that he's doing to help increase his chance of crashing his car. Or for this one, I believe the car they said, I guess, rolled off the side of the road or what have you.
I don't know if you've seen pictures or video, bro, but it wasn't like a regular fender bender. Like he fell off the side of the road because the roads from the sources I got in this particular section in California, it's not like one of these straight roads that you just go through. It's a lot of twists and turns. Like if you don't pay attention, because there's not a lot of signs that tell you, oh, there's a sharp right coming up or left, whatever. So if you're not paying no mind, you're gonna fall off the road, unfortunately. And thankfully, it wasn't off a side of a cliff or something. He would have been dead.
Yeah. So I don't know whether Tiger was just not paying attention. I'm sure he knew this, but maybe it was I don't want to speculate. Maybe it was a tournament he'd never been to, and he didn't. Well, he
wasn't familiar with the
LA all his life, so
yeah. But that's to let you know, Heaven. I don't know if you heard about this. The doctor says he wasn't impaired. So in other words, there was no evidence of him seem like he was drunk or anything like that.
Early in the morning, so I would never suggest that anyway.
Yeah,
but exactly. It was my thing was he either got distracted or it's still early in the morning. Was he dozing off or who knows?
Yeah, he could have. I mean, hey, we've been there, man.
Off, it's still early. If you got up and you're not really fully up and you doze off, thank God he said they got to survive. But
yeah. No, it didn't hurt anybody else.
Tiger since that the amazing thing is since that first incident.
Yeah, 2009 Thanksgiving week.
Incident that ended up getting, pretty much blowing him up and all his secrets coming out, what have you.
Yeah.
And he was on pace to destroy Nicklaus's record, like all the records.
Yeah, he would have probably done it by now.
He's won one major since then.
Since, yes. In 12 years since that night.
Major. And I know a lot has to do with his back and that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times where he was 100% healthy, or not 100%, But a lot of times, even when he was winning, he wasn't 100%. As he revealed later, he was saying even in the early years, I pretty much sold his soul for his back, like early in his years, because
Mm-hmm.
when he was having back problems, he never really said anything. He was still winning tournaments. He said, I believe in a interview, he may have at sometimes 70%, 60%. Now, was he saying that to boost him, make him sound a little better? Possibly, but for people to say, "Oh man, he beat the crowd, and he was only 60%," so
It's
I'm sure
amazing.
there's a little bit of that going on. But man,
That's the thing. He was doing all this extra.
it's early with coming off the back surgeries, coming off the point that um he wasn't really doing much winning anyway. Those tournaments, everyone knows at this point at Tiger's career, he plays for the majors. Like those little tournaments don't mean nothing to him.
No.
The little side. So yeah, he may win a couple $1 million from it, but
Mm-hmm.
he's all about majors now. But it's all about winning majors, like Serena Williams. Right now, it's like majors. That's all
Yeah.
she's in there for, really. But
Yeah.
with these surgeries that did the back surgeries,
Again,
really know if we'll ever see Tiger golf again because
that's what people have
because
been saying to me.
compound fractures in his legs
Yeah.
coming off of back surgery where
Yeah.
already are limited. If you do see him again, man, he may be in his 50s by then. What is he now?
He's 42, something like that.
For
If
him to
I'm,
recover from that, now you're talking back and legs.
yeah, I gotta look real quick, but yeah, because when I saw you that he's 42, but
Yeah.
I see the thing. Oh, he's 45. Excuse me, he's 45. He's
Wow.
45. He's 45, so he's 3 years older than I thought. I mean, I'm looking at these videos. I mean, I look at these like if you showed this picture to me and said, you think he lived or died, I would have leaned towards more death. Not to make a joke, but I look at it and say, wow, it's
It's like
amazing.
Melissa Ford's truck. You look at Melissa Ford's truck and you're like, nah, there's no way. There's no
Yeah,
way I survived that. And amazingly, she did.
yeah,
So
it's like seeing these NASCAR drivers.
I did see his truck, and
Yeah, that's not. It's not like I said. Oh, just a little dent on the side.
well, they had to force him out of the truck with the jaws. So
Yeah, and here's another thing. I don't know if you know. He was driving at a high rate of speed,
uh,
supposedly. So I'm look. All I'm saying is that guy's alive. You know, I knowing Tiger. See, the one thing about before we move on, the one thing about golf is it's not like there's a certain age and you can't play no more. You could
right,
play. Look at Jack Nicklaus, and I forgot the other dude that played forever, the Golden Bear. They played till like they almost dropped dead. So so knowing him with his ego, I don't see unless he's in a wheelchair, God forbid. I think
right,
once he could walk. I mean, like I was saying earlier, the legs have a lot to do with golf and your back, of course. Because
sure,
if you have back and leg issues, you're done. You're done. I don't care how much you want to play. You know what I mean? But knowing the ego of Tiger Woods, I don't see him just going, "Oh, this is it. My end of my legacy is this accident." I don't see
right,
it. I don't see it. I don't see it unless physically he just can't do it no more. I don't see him just saying, "Yeah, you know what? I have 9 lives like a cat." No pun intended. I'm Tiger Woods,
right.
but this is number 8. Number 9. That's it. I don't think. I think I can see him like, look, as long as I'm breathing and I can walk and carry a golf club and able to swing it, I'm gonna go out there because as long as he doesn't embarrass himself, then he'll probably stop. Because
I,
some
I
of these
mean,
people don't know when to stop. They don't know when to end it sometimes.
I'll say this: if Tiger Woods, and let's speak honestly, I don't watch golf anyway. But when I did watch it, it was to see if Tiger was going to be able to get a major, what have you. I stopped watching like 5 years ago and pretty much gave up on it because I'm just like, dude, this dude ain't winning again. And
Yeah.
I was able to look at him and was like, I mean, he wasn't even. There was most of the tournaments where he wasn't even close. Like he was like done after the first day, and they were like, "There's no way." I was looking at him like, and I'm saying to myself, and I know golf, sometimes you can come back. And then he was finishing, 10 over, 11 over. I'm like, in golf, in the first day, if you're 10 or 11 over, you ain't
Yeah.
winning.
No,
You
a
ain't
10
winning.
11 over par.
So,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
you're
That's
not winning.
really,
So
yeah.
I don't care how good. I mean, you had to be absolutely perfect the rest of the way, and everybody else got to fall off. So I'm looking at him like this ain't Tiger Woods that I want to see. So if Tiger Woods has leg issues on top of his back issues, but still goes out there, to me, it's going to be like he's not even out there because he's just going to be out there just the sake of saying that he wasn't done. He played golf again, but he's not going to be anywhere near the Tiger Woods that people like I said at this point. I don't care if Tiger goes out there and wins the Roosevelt Open. Like I don't care about that. Goes out there and wins that. Is he going to be able to go out there and compete and you're talking before the accident? He hasn't been doing it. That 1 year that he did able to get the match, and everybody said, "Okay, he's back. Here we go."
Yeah, I didn't say
And then
that.
the very next tournament, he
I didn't.
went back to what he was doing before.
Mm.
He's not even in these things. Like comes down to the left over
Yeah,
there. So we'll have to see, man.
yeah,
I had already said prior to that I don't know how much he had left. He won the one major.
okay.
The funny thing is, about 5 years ago, there was a question:
Mm-hmm.
would Woods ever win another major? And I said no. I leaned on the side of no. Now he won one in the last 10 years. I don't think he's winning another one.
Yeah,
Like I said,
yeah,
we'll have to see. You
yeah.
know, will
And,
he go out there and win the senior circuit, the senior open, or
yeah,
with
but
the
here's
older
the
guys? Who knows? Maybe. But
see, here's the thing. He's not the all-time winner in winning tournaments. You know what I'm saying? So that might be a motivational tool. And another motivational thing for him, which you have to understand, and you definitely do, when you've been on a certain level. I mean, he was a prodigy since he was what 5, 6, whatever. What he was
yeah,
on. I forgot what he was on. What I can't believe I forgot Homeboy's name from back in the day. He was on that show, Griffin, Merv Griffin show, I think it was, when he was a little boy, and he was,
good old
they
Merv
was,
Griffin.
yeah, I think it was Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin and little boys. That's a funny that
So
they go together. But that's a topic
yeah.
for another.
So think about it. All those years, and you've been praised. You've been getting your rear end kissed. The following you have everywhere you went, even when he hasn't won all these years, but one major, he still has a huge following. Everywhere he went, they were cheering, and that's hard to give up. It's like a drug to be a. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like egotistical, but it's just like it's that like wow, it's that amazing feeling. Like wow,
Right.
they're here. That's hard to walk away from. And a lot of big
Oh,
time athletes would tell you they can't just. That's why they cry. Famous athletes and athletes in general die twice. They always say they die twice: their sports life, and of course their regular life. And when that sports life is over, and they might have full time in the back on, hopefully, but it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to walk away when you're used to that, the crowd and the perks and just all that elation, all that stuff. That's hard. I mean, we're human beings. That's hard to walk away from. You're going from up here to now you're down there, no pun intended, because what happened with him, but it just he's laying in that hospital room with his own thoughts, and he's thinking, man, like, what am I gonna do? Like, no matter how hard I try, there's something else going on with me. It's like a curse ever since 2009.
It was like that, and it seems like he has been cursed ever since that situation. Like, he ain't got away. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, by the way.
Yeah, but everybody out there, everyone hanging in there during the time. Thanks a lot.
Tiger Woods, and we'll follow that situation.
Yeah, we get more news. We'll definitely talk more about it. Trust me.
Soon is the most important thing.
Absolutely, that's the main thing. So I talked also about a little bit about Fernando Tatis Jr.'s huge contract. I talked about his 14-year, $340 million extension.
That's great.
22 years old, by the way.
He signed with the Padres, right?
Yeah, he's been with the Padres since, he came up in 19 and he played his first full season. You consider 60 games a full season, but you know what I'm saying with the COVID going on. But yeah, he signed, basically extension.
And baseball's not making money, huh? Baseball seems to.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying with these owners.
Do they still have the shortstop that they signed to all that money?
Yeah, and listen to this, bro. This is the thing. You would think when you hear that contract, they hear that news, you think that's the highest, right? Right now, that's only. It's not the second highest. It's the third highest.
Was it Stanton and Bryce Harper?
No, it's Mookie Betts number 2 and Mike Trout number 1.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is number 2. Hey, someone else stepping in the pitcher list.
Is he on the Red Sox? Mookie Betts?
Yeah, Mookie Betts is number 2. He has the second highest contract, and then number 1 is Mike Trout.
Yeah. First of all, that I told you about that before. It's like, first of all, who the hell signs a 14-year contract?
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm like chilling, minding my business, right? I get a text. I'm pulling the curtains a little behind. Give me the behind the scenes. Exactly what is it? Who signs a 14-year? I said, look, you give me $340 million, I'll sign that 14-year.
So do they still have? Did a couple of years ago they signed Manny Macho, whatever, to the shortstop?
Yeah, that's another guy. He has over $300 million. And like I said, he's not even top 3 contract. Machado. That's the amazing thing.
So the Padres have Machado and Tatis.
Yeah, combined at least over $600 million. The poor.
How are they paying these salaries?
Now listen to this. I was saying this earlier. Listen to this, guys. So this is how his mega contract is broken down, right? So you know where all this money is coming from. That's fine. Well, who knows? When everything goes back to normal, then you see, I guess. Okay, he's getting $1 million this year, for 2021, right?
He's signing one of them Bobby Bonilla contracts.
Well, that's never ending. It seems like. Anyway, listen. Well, give me that agent. I want that agent. That's the greatest agent ever. I don't care about that other agent, Scott Boras. He's not the greatest. The Bobby Bonilla's agent is the greatest agent.
Bobby Bonilla's gonna be 70 years old, still getting money, man.
So cha-ching, comes another check. It's like getting a pension. You know what I'm saying? And he still gets a baseball pension on top of that. Anyway. So getting back to, here's the breakdown of Tatis Jr. contract. I know Senior is like, can you lend me $20? Here we go. This year, he's getting $1 million for the 2021 season, right? Then he gets a nice little raise next year at $5 million. Then in 2023, he gets a $7 million increase. Then in 2024, $11 million. Then in 25 and 26, he'll get $20 million. For those 2 years, then he'll get a $25 million increase. Then he'll get another $25 million in 27 and 28, and then $36 million yearly from 29 through 2034. What?
2034.
Yeah. Well, you do the math. It goes 21, 14 years, and then 2034.
Baseball out of their minds,
But I don't want to hear it.
They're gonna be playing into the afterlife playing baseball. It's
But
gonna
what a
be
concept.
like, yeah,
what
what
a
a
here is a announcement to all of the Insta thoughts on Instagram and all the jersey chasers. What are you doing? Why aren't you with baseball players?
right. Baseball wives should have lasted longer than this.
Why are these girls not with baseball players?
Uh,
This is crazy.
maybe they don't like Spanish dudes. I don't know.
Evelyn Lozada. Shout out to Evelyn Lozada, the only smart one. When he signed that big contract.
Yo, what was it? Remember what Wes was talking about? If you can go back when you were 10 years old, whatever. I want to go back to playing baseball again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, knowing where the sport is gone financially. I mean, I'm sorry, anybody would never think that baseball players are still making this kind of money. They've always made the most money when it comes to contract per year. They've always made more money than almost probably anybody in any other sports. But when you look at this, man, this is like I said. Yeah, I know. I'm like, who signs a 14-year? That's your whole career almost.
Look, he said, yeah, I know. He said in the press conference on Monday in San Diego with a big smile on his face. Wouldn't you smile if you were getting this one? He basically was saying like, well, I want to have my legacy be here. Well, I think so. When you sign a 14-year, 300 and whatever, what was it, a $340 million contract? Shoot, I'll have my legacy in San Diego too. I'll go to SD 619. Here I come. Shoot, let's keep it real. But it's fascinating. But the thing about see again. Not that I've seen. I keep it real. I didn't see a lot of him play. What I've seen in highlights, he seems like he could play. But normally when you get contracts like this is when you're really established. Like when you really are established. Because not even players like Derek Jeter or stuff like that, they got like this money straight up like this, not this quick. At least they put in like 5 or more years, and then he still had. San Diego Padres still have 4 years control of him. I guess they just were scared of just losing him. They see him as this phenom for the San Diego Padres. They don't want to lose him because they know, I guess, if they didn't sign him now, he could walk away. He'll end up costing more money, believe it or not, because the price only goes up, especially if he keeps playing the way he plays. And I don't blame him for signing the contract because he could, God forbid, he could, get into an accident tomorrow. And then his baseball career is over. So I don't blame him for signing that 14-year, $340 million. I'll be smiling too at the press conference. Like,
no,
he's gonna be here in San Diego.
No, it's the truth. They really, wow. Those contracts are enormous. They're enormous.
What's
by the way, I didn't even say this. By the way, he got an extra $10 million signing bonus on top of that.
You gotta be kidding me. And Fernando Tatis. Not saying he's not good, but I'm just saying. So what's Mike Trout?
I hope he's better than his daddy because his daddy was trash.
Yeah, he was garbage. That's why I was like Fernando Tatis. But then I'm thinking all the way back then.
You think of San Diego, you think of Fernando Tatis Sr., who hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning in LA against the Dodgers.
I remember that. That was the year that I think that was like his best year too. Now, Fernando Tatis did get, I believe it was right after the steroid era, maybe during it.
Yeah.
There was a time as he got older, up in years, he became a very good player. And like I said, he had the 2 grand slams. That's the first. I think that's the only time it's ever been done.
I think so. I forgot the top of my head.
2 grand slams in 1 inning.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They
2 grand
around.
Yeah.
This dude had 8 RBIs in 1 inning.
It's amazing enough you do that just regular home runs, like solo home run or something in 1 inning. twice, let alone grand slams, both grand slams. That's crazy. I just know his father's like, okay, now I know where to go to if I'm low on money.
Right. Hey, I don't blame him. He's a part of it. But
Yeah,
shout out to Tatis and shout out to all Insta thoughts, man. You better go hit up these baseball players.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is like, remember, boy, I brought you in this one to take you out.
Yeah, right.
So hey, give a little dinero to your poppy,
Yeah.
But that's it. But again, I gotta say this again. What happened? See, this is where we live in this new era. What happened to really proving yourself first before you get this mega deal? Like back in the day, when you got a mega deal, you really earned it. When you got a nickname, you earned it. Nowadays you just wake up. Oh, I'm known as super duper. Oh, you're super duper or whatever. And then here's all the money. Like, what happened to hey, God bless him. He got his money. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, back in our time, it's not like an old man. Back in our day,
right.
You used to really put the work. I'm not saying you don't put in work, but you put in more service time. I mean, he was still under the Diego Padres control for another 4 years. You were that scared of losing him? Is he that much of a phenom? I'm sorry. I have to see more.
Those days are gone, my friend.
I know.
We're living in these new millennial times, and man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who said this, but what I heard, I don't know, was on your show, Wes, or whatever. I think it was on your show, Wes, last night. We live in the microwave era.
Yeah.
Everything
the now era. It is the now era. That's what it is. It's everything now. Yeah, but I agree. You used to have to earn the big contracts, and I mean that's across the board now in every sport, though. You still have to earn it in football, though. That sport, and that's the toughest sport. And I never understand why they pay the lowest, and they're the toughest.
I know, and they risk their lives every play. And only some of it guaranteed. That's where the signing bonus is even more important. And first of all, let me say this. I never heard of a signing bonus in baseball till now. When did this happen? When did baseball get a signing bonus? I thought that was only a football thing. When did they get what?
They don't even need to be getting no damn signing bonus. All that.
It has been around though. Like people don't make big deals. People don't make big deals out of it, but baseball signing bonuses has been around a while.
That's
so, but it just wasn't as prominent or as big as now. But because I remember even when he did his deal, even Bobby Bonilla got a signing bonus in the beginning.
Yeah, I never really heard
it. But you didn't really pay attention to it. But yeah, shout out to Tatis for getting his money. What else we got?
Yeah. Well, also, that came down the pike a few days ago, late last week. You got what's his name? This dude from the Eagles, Carson Wentz, getting traded to the Colts for a third round pick, and a second round that could turn into a first round depending on his Carson Wentz playing time. Boy, how the mighty have fallen. I remember when he first came out, I thought he was going to be a no-brainer, barring injury. Well, injuries did cause a part of it of his career, that he would be definitely one of those top elite quarterbacks, And, a lot of things went wrong, him with politicking these last few years. I mean, he was the main reason why they got to the Super Bowl, but he wasn't the reason why they won the Super Bowl. That was Nick, what was his name? Nick Foles or something like that. He's the one that won the Super Bowl for him. But Wes had a lot to do with that season being good to get to that point as far as the playoffs.
First of all, I think considering what they had out there available, and considering that you can go from Phillip Rivers, who was pretty much a stationary target last year and still only got sacked, I believe it was like 10 times all year, and he's stationary. So
Stays in the pocket.
you put Wentz behind that offensive line, which is considered the best offensive line in football. If there was ever a time for him to prove that he's not finished, it would be behind this offensive line. Now, I'll say this. I was one of the few people who said when after that Super Bowl run, and when it was, do you keep Foles or keep Wentz? I was one of the few people that said keep Foles because
I was like that too.
because Wentz to me, since he got hurt, remember he was probably on his way to winning the MVP that year.
True.
Since he got hurt and came back, he just ain't the same dude. Now I don't know whether it was the hit to the knees that got him a little shell shocked about when to run, where to run, stand up, slide, whatever. He ain't the same dude.
Nope.
Since he's been back. Now, to me, Nick Foles had a certain magic on that he's only shown to have on the Eagles, because when he's been other places, he's been awful. You know, he's been times where he's gotten benched. Remember he got himself a lot of money the first time around when he went to the Rams. He was bad there. Then they were like Jackson after he won the Super Bowl. They were like Jacksonville. That's all they needed is a quarterback. So they gave him Nick Foles there. And if I'm not mistaken, then he played quarterback. The Bears said, all we need is a quarterback. So they brought in Nick Foles again. And it's like he can't play for anyone but the Eagles. And after he went and took them to the Super Bowl, that'd have been like, you know what that situation mirrored? Bledsoe and Brady.
Yeah.
You know, I know Brady.
For Super Bowl.
I know Brady took over earlier.
Yeah.
But Foles took over for the playoffs. Wentz got hurt in the regular season. We don't forget that.
Yep.
Foles won the playoff games.
Yep, absolutely.
He beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's correct.
The year that Brady won his Super Bowl, people forget he got hurt in the Steelers game.
Yep, the championship game.
He got hurt in the Steelers game. And Bledsoe came in and saved the day. So there was this big old thing going into the Super Bowl. Is Bledsoe going to start or is Brady going to start?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. I remember that.
And then going into the next season,
had
Bledsoe and Brady. And it was, what are we going to keep? Obviously, they made the right choice and keeping Brady. But I don't like what I've seen of Wentz.
Me either.
Since he come back. He came back the next year pretty much with the same team that had just won the championship. Of course, there's always going to be pieces missing here or there, but he pretty much had the same squad. And he just had not looked good. So there's a lot of people out there that make excuses for Carson Wentz. I've seen a lot. I didn't even know Carson Wentz was so popular. But all over the shows, I see a lot of people making excuses for this dude. So I'm interested to see, now that he's in Indy, because he did not handle that situation in Philadelphia well.
No, he didn't.
You know, Carson Wentz blamed that situation on everyone except the dude he should blame it on, and that's himself.
Exactly.
Because all he had to do was play well.
Yeah.
They weren't going to bring in Jalen Hurts. They wasn't going to bring Hurts in. Jalen Hurt. They wasn't going to bring him in. And Wentz played so bad that they had no choice but to go to Jalen Hurts. And then people were saying it's the offense, it's the receivers. They get no separation. It's the offensive line. And then Hurts comes in and beats the Saints. So you can't give me it was this, it was that, it was that. And then Jalen Hurts comes in and he beats the Saints. who at that time had the best defense and was surging. So I'm interested to see what's going on with Wentz. Me personally, I just don't think he's the same guy. I think going forward, can he be productive? Sure, he could be productive. We'll see. As long as he stays on the court, he's another on the field. He's another guy who's brittle and gets hurt a lot. But I don't have that lot of that much confidence in him. We'll have to see about what he does on Indianapolis with that offensive line, which is very good.
Might help him. It definitely might help him. We will see if it works out for the Colts, but definitely worked out for the Eagles because they just got rid of their cancer, basically, and we'll see what happens with the Eagles. And I forgot the guy's name. Like, what's it? Hurts. His backup. I mean, or
Yep.
Hurt or something like that.
Yep. Hurt. Yep.
Yeah, which is not a good name to have after having this guy. You know why? That's not a good name for a quarterback. It's just like I forgot in baseball there was a guy. His last name was Choke or something, and he was a relief pitcher. Not a good name for a relief pitcher. Or Blown or something. Not a good name to have. Like, oh, here comes Choke. Oh boy, yeah, here comes Choke. All right, yeah. Like,
but you see all the teammates packing up the bats like this game's over.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what story that was. It was a baseball story. I forgot who it was. Someone said, "Yeah. Don't worry, we got this. Just get ready to go." I think it was Mickey Mantle or something. Don't worry, we got this. Just get ready to go in the locker room.
One thing I did want to bring up.
Yeah, you got some stuff.
That I want you guys to touch on real quick, and that is the Cam Newton situation.
Oh yeah. Talk about that. I
know me and my brother kind of talked about off the air, and then it was whether Cam was right or wrong, whether he handled the right situation. And for everybody who doesn't know, Cam Newton runs a camp.
Yeah.
Runs a football camp. I want to throw out there that the kid has since apologized to Cam Newton.
Yep.
But Cam Newton was running a football camp with teenagers or what have you, and it just so happens a 15-year-old, what's now Generation Yen or Generation Zen? I don't know what generation we're on. But
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Oh, Jesus.
Lost.
One of these Gen Z guys came and started disrespecting Cam Newton, saying, your ass, he was saying, your ASS, how are you teaching a camp and you're a free agent, right? Yeah. There's a kid now talking back to Cam Newton, who's won an MVP in this league. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He won a national championship. And you're telling him, who's out here on his own accord, I'm sure he gets paid, but he's running a camp. He just finished the season where he could be resting, recuperating for next year. He's running a camp for kids. And you got a kid here because of social media has made it so easy for you to contact these athletes and contact these celebrities, and they respond back to you, what have you. Now, when they get in front of you, it's easy for these kids to say, something that they shouldn't be saying. I have to definitely, I at least applaud the kid for not being like most of the other people. When they see the person, all of a sudden, it's not the same thing as how it was. It ain't the same energy. Usually, usually that same energy ain't kept when they're in your face.
That's true.
And Cam's a big dude.
Yeah.
So, for the kid to be saying those type of things, and then Cam's response was, "I'm rich."
Yeah.
What? I'm rich. I'm rich. Now, I didn't really like that response.
Either.
Um, because we know you're rich,
Like, duh.
and it's kind of like talking down on the kid, like, "Oh, I'm rich and you're not."
Yeah, exactly. You're a loser.
So nothing you say matters because I'm rich,
Mm-hmm.
But Cam, all those football players are rich. All those dudes got money.
Yeah.
So, but what this kid was saying was, you. So then the kid's response was, "You're about to be poor."
Yeah.
Right. So he's going back and forth with the kid. So I guess my whole thing was, and then he says what a lot of people took. I don't know whether they took it the wrong way. I don't know how Cam meant it, but Cam started saying, "Yeah, but where's your pops? Yeah, but where's your father though? Where's your
No,
father?"
I had got some I got some insight on that,
Oh,
and
please.
he actually was asking to speak to his father.
That's what. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the kid did have a father there because it came across at first people were saying, and I saw someone who reported saying that he said that and the kid didn't have a father. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to see if the kids but the parents was or whoever was there with the kid had somebody there with him, the parent. But he said, "Where's your father?" But he was saying like on like because when the kid in his apology he said my parents, he said my parents raised me better than that, I shouldn't have done it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think he was actually trying to maybe realize what was going on finally, Cam, and was trying to consult an adult. Right. Yeah, he said he didn't want to talk to the kid. He wanted to speak to his father. Exactly. He was at that point. He wanted to consult an adult, and instead of sitting there going back and forth with the kid. So
Yeah.
at first, people might have thought that. I'm glad that he went that route. Yeah, he shouldn't have said, "But I'm rich." He shouldn't even have went that far. But he did the right thing. And surprisingly, a lot of people are on Cam Newton's side on with this.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Cam was
Is
going
it
to
a
get a lot
shock?
of backlash. Yeah, it's a shock. I thought Cam was going to get a lot of backlash, but surprisingly, I've seen a lot of people land on the side of Cam Newton with this one
Mm-hmm.
because he made that decision to try to talk about. Let me talk to your father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Had he just said one more word, he'd have buried himself. So it's a good thing he did that.
And that's probably what saved him, and that's probably what saved him. The only like you said, you guys said, I totally agree. The only thing he said he did wrong was when he said, "Well, I'm rich." Other than that, he really didn't do nothing wrong. Like he didn't like curse him out or yell at him or do any of those sorts. He was actually trying to converse
Yeah.
and get hold of the father. Like some people could take that the wrong way out of context. Well, where's your father? Like some people might think, oh, you're trying to say he doesn't have a father.
Father, yeah.
I didn't take it that way. I know he was trying to say, "Hey, where's the adult here?" Because I know one thing, and that was my son. Let's just say that wouldn't happen.
No, it wouldn't even have happened. It was my son. Is she's no nonsense says Cam. I'm on Cam's side too because it could have went way left. Yeah, and I also think that Cam, like I said, because he made the decision to go the right way, um, it made him, and I'm glad because it took the. I didn't need to see him with that kind of pressure because we need to put light on the fact that these damn kids today got no goddamn respect.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's where the light should be shined on.
That's the
It
real
should
tea.
be shined. That's the real. These kids, they have no. And I told you before, like I said, I always sound like the bitter old man. With this generation, they don't respect you because number one, they can make money at young ages because of the way technology is now. They
Right.
can make their own money. They can do, they can do a lot of things
You're
that
seeing
we had to
12 and
work.
13-year-old
Right.
millionaires because of
Yeah,
YouTube.
they can do a lot of things that we had to script and scrape. I love it. I love that, Daddy.
Love that,
Script and
daddy. I
scrape.
love that, daddy. I
We
love when
had
you
to
script and
script and
scrape.
scrape from. You know what I'm saying? So I
It's
mean
crazy.
that that's why they act like they don't respect you, because they don't. They don't respect us. They think they're into working smarter, not harder. That's this world. That's this
Right.
generation.
Correct.
So with that, like I said, I'm on Cam's side as well. It's about doggone time that when anything go his way. And the only other subject that I want to touch on is the Meek Mill's comment in the record about Kobe Bryant. Now, listen,
What an asshole.
Meek Mill,
Idiot.
I thought was under Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, where are you at?
Yeah.
You were right there with your wife as Vanessa's number one supporters. You would think Jay, I don't know whether Meek got with Jay-Z or what have you, but Meek Mill, did you ever think to call Jay-Z and say, Jay, is this a smart move? Let me run this line by you and let's see if you take this offensive. Kobe Bryant, and I'm not going to talk too long on this because I'm going to get very emotional.
Understand.
Kobe Bryant has been dead now just a little bit over a year.
Mm-hmm.
People, and I myself included, sometimes I still can't believe he's gone. So that means I'm still in a denial process. There's a lot of people who still in the denial phase. If I am in a denial phase over someone that I've never met, imagine what his wife feels. So for you to put that line in,
she didn't just lose him.
Metaphor or not,
yeah,
it was tasteless. It was uncalled for.
Correct.
And to me, he put it in there. He had to know, especially the times we're living in. He had to know how people were going to respond. And and judging from his tweets afterwards, he did not care. He was more concerned about going viral. He's been taking a pounding over this 6ix9ine thing, and he wanted to put something out there to everyone to distract the fact that he just got bitched by 6ix9ine.
Yep.
Yeah.
He put that out there to as a distraction, to distract the fact that he was getting tore up in the media, in social media, and he puts that out there in the public. And Vanessa responds, and I believe, and Vanessa, of course, which I told everyone on my page, that she had heard from, and when I said this, everybody said I was lying. Now it comes out, everybody was to come back, oh, you were right. Of course I was right.
When will they ever learn?
They will never learn. They keep downing me. They will never learn. So she was upset about it. Of course, who's the first person she's going to call? Beyonce. And because her daughter, she didn't know anything about Meek Mill. Yeah. Her daughter told her that line about that. Wow. Because she didn't want her to go online and see why Kobe Bryant was trending.
Oh, can you imagine if you found
so the daughter broke the news to her, and so she put a comment to Meek Mill's. I don't appreciate. I thought it was tasteless. I'm not familiar with your music. I really don't know who you are. And to me, that's what ticked Meek off more than anything, because of the fact that she said, "I'm not familiar with your work." Ticked him off more than anything. Then he comes back with a tweet, I'm about to start getting savage, F people's feelings. This came right after the Vanessa Bryant post. Yeah. So instead of saying, you know what, my bad, you're absolutely right, Miss Bryant, it was uncalled for, that he comes back and that's what he tweets.
Wow.
Then when people drag him more, he wants to say, I apologize to her. Oh, I already apologized. I already apologized to her in private. What I do with her, I'm not gonna be doing it for the gram. But no, sir. You publicly made that statement.
Yeah, dummy.
You put that statement out there publicly. So, but you're gonna apologize privately? No, Meek. That's not the way it works. You should have came out publicly and said, "Mom," and then called her and privately apologized.
Do both. Exactly.
So don't give me this. Oh, I'm not going to be doing it for the gram. I apologize to her in private.
Why'd you post it on your gram?
Right. We don't know that. We don't know if you apologize to her or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So, right. I didn't hear her mention that.
Yeah.
So
going by your word, that's not.
Right. I didn't hear her mention that. So my whole thing is Meek Mill and the people in LA, anybody from LA out here listening or what have you, Meek Mill should be banned from all Laker games, all Clipper games, anything having to do with LA. Meek Mill should not be allowed to be a part of it.
Dodger games. Dodger games.
Dodger games. I don't give a damn. Anything that got to do with LA. I don't give a damn. He shouldn't even be allowed in LaFace Records. Anything that's got LA in it, Meek Mill should not be allowed to be a part of.
Yeah.
Period. Don't be playing I Love LA.
No, nothing.
I don't want to hear nothing. He don't wear no Dodger hat, no Laker gear. He should not be allowed to do with any of that.
Oh, definitely. He shouldn't even be allowed to become 100 feet from the Staples Center. He should, I don't care if he just passing by on the street. He should have to be detoured away from that, the street that leads up to the Staples Center.
It was totally disrespectful because you got to remember, man, Kobe ain't the only one that died in that helicopter.
That's right.
11-year-old daughter died, dude.
That's right. On top of that,
and then a bunch of other people on top of that.
Exactly.
10 other people on top of that died.
Thank you. Correct.
And you're out here making metaphors out of that?
First of all, it's completely disrespectful to everybody involved because the only person you mentioned was Kobe. Not that you should have mentioned anybody, but my point is, it won't be another Kobe. Well, Kobe ain't the only person who died in that. So you're just hurting people every which way with that one stupid little line that you had no business writing in the first place.
And it wasn't even that hot.
And it wasn't even a hot line. It wasn't even a hot line. You could have at least made the shit hot. It was not a hot line. It was basic. It was basic at best.
I didn't hear it, so
you're not missing nothing.
That's all for me.
You're not missing nothing.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's what I thought anyway. But yeah, that's a distasteful. That's a disgrace, and he shouldn't. With all the things that's going on with him, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Meanwhile, you getting sunned by a nigga with rainbow hair.
Rainbow hair.
You got a rainbow bright looking Chucky guy.
Right. You getting stunned by a human Chucky doll. You getting sunned.
Came out and sent them a cease and desist. And that makes yourself look even worse. But
get me the jam.
But like I said, shout out to 6ix9ine for sunning me. That's the only reason I'll shout him out. Shout out to 6ix9ine for sunning me and making him look like the sucker that he is. And shame on you, Meek Mill. And I hope everybody is just finished with this clown, because that's exactly what he showed himself to be.
Yep,
a clown.
Yep, if Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus was still around, he'd be the top clown. Yeah. Absolutely.
For real.
All right, guys. That's all for me.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining in. And by the way, one thing before you go, Heaven, well, he just left, but Heaven's live last week on the Meek Mill and Meg Thee Stallion situation was hilarious. I must have listened to that like 10 times. Like my own stand-up record was awesome. So truthful and so hilarious. So shout out to Heaven Hollywood, my co-host, and also shout out to Wes, my producer extraordinaire.
I see no nonsense is clearing something up for Joseph. Joseph, yes, to echo what she just said. Meek Mill, who's a rapper, he said a disrespectful line in a song that he wrote that mentioned Kobe Bryant's untimely death, which really was just disrespectful, tasteless, and out of line. So thank you, No Nonsense, for letting him know.
Yeah. Thank you,
and
No Nonsense.
thank you everybody in the chat room that joined us tonight.
Absolutely,
most definitely.
Absolutely, because unfortunately on my side, in order for me to see the chat, I have to step out real quick to see it.
No, it's we appreciate all of you coming through, chatting, and keep doing so. Keep doing that. You guys make sure y'all check out the show, obviously every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
That's
and
right.
Check out Real Talk, of course, every Monday at 9 p.m. Yeah, Monday at 9 p.m. Go out to the go to the IE Network store. Go to the IE Network, the IE Network.store. Get some merch. We got some more coming. We're gonna get some Benchwarmers merch up there. We're gonna get it all going, man. It's just you guys, you don't realize that little things like that help support the channel, help support the shows. Absolutely. And it keeps us going and keep it going. So thanks again, and we'll get up with y'all next week.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Wes. And of course, you can check out his Real Talk show every Monday night, exclusively right here on IE Network, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday night with him and the Jedi Council. So shout out to Wes. Great show last night, by the way, as always. And for you out there, thank you all for listening and watching, especially during the little lapse we had earlier. We apologize about that. Things happen when it's live TV sometimes. That's the risk you take, but that's the risk we always like to take because there's nothing like live TV. So I bid you all adieu out there. Thanks for tuning in. And as I go into the IE Network Horizon, I say this to all y'all. I say this to all y'all as I leave here for Heaven and for West. This is the Benchwarmers podcast. Tune in next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Latest and tomatoes. Peace.